Hi, I'm Boruch Rabinowitz, making a difference for the Jewish people. And today we're on number 15 of the 48 ways, called the Mishnah, or the translation usually is oral law. The literal translation of the Mishnah is to repeat that which is reviewed and commit to memory. The oral law was originally passed down from father to son, from teacher to student. But after the destruction of the Second Temple, it was put into writing by Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi, because there was the threat of it getting lost due to the Roman expulsion from the land. And the study halls were no longer. So therefore, Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi decided to write it down to preserve the oral law. But really, ideally, the oral law should be transmitted from person to person. And we just know intuitively that when you write something down, you read it and you ask questions, and there needs to be further clarification. So even today, when we learn the oral law, we learn it with a partner, or we learn it with a rabbi or a person who's well learned, in order to ask questions, to clarify, to get really the full meaning of what the oral law is saying. Now, it's very important to know that there's the written law, as we said the last 40 ways, and the oral law. The written law cannot be understood without the oral law. The oral law provides the explanation. When you just read the written law straight out, you'll have questions. You won't know what it really means. There's certain words there that need a definition and clarification. There are many aspects of the Mishnah, of learning the oral law, and the oral law is the Mishnah that was written down. After the Mishnah is the Talmud or the Gemara, which is an explanation of the Mishnah, the Shulchan Aruch, and a number of other writings, teachings that were committed to writing. You know, there's a joke I feel I have to tell. Rashi was a very famous commentary on the Torah. And there was a guy who was building a house. And he went to the rabbi and he said, "Rabbi, you told me everything's in the Torah. How do I build my house?" The rabbi said, "Okay, go to a construction guy." He said, No, you told me everything's in the Torah. Please. How do I build? What does the Torah say how to build the house? The rabbi said, "Okay, let me check it out. Let me get back to you." So he goes to his study, a couple of days, he reads all his books, and he comes back to the guy. He says, "Okay, these are the instructions." The guy builds the house. It's amazing, beautiful mansion. He says, "Rabbi, I want to honor you. Can you please put up the mezuzah in the front door?" The rabbi said, "Sure." He has the band. Everybody's there for the big house dedication. The rabbi's pounding in the mezuzah, nailing it in the front door, and all of a sudden a beam falls, another beam. The whole house is like on the ground. And the guy who built the house went to the rabbi and said, Rabbi, why?" The rabbi said, Rashi asked the same question. It's a funny story, but the true part of it is that in the oral law, there's a wealth of information and wisdom that is accessible to us either through studying diligently or through tapping into people who really know. I remember Rabbi Weinberg used to, when he taught the class on the secret of happiness, he used to ask the question, which is more important, your eyes or your ears? And inevitably everybody would say, or almost everybody would say, their eyes are more important. You know, we live in a very sensational world, their eyes are more important. But really the Talmud says that the ears are more important. How do you know? Because when you go to the laws of damages, it's clear that the person who damages eyes, the payment and the damage payment on that is much less than one who makes somebody deaf. But there's a lot more understanding and depth to that. I was at my Shabbos table, and there was a lady with her husband. Her name was Ann Zuckerman. She passed away about a year and a half ago. A very special lady, from Herb and Ann Zuckerman. And Ann passed away. She's from Norfolk, Virginia. And she was sitting at our Shabbos table, and I was talking about the secret of happiness. And she had macular degeneration. She was legally blind. And I said, what do you think is more important, your eyes or ears? And she said, I think my hearing is more important. And I was really shocked because she's basically blind. And she told me that the depth of relationships comes more through the ears than it does from the eyes. And I told her that's exactly what my rabbi told me. And she says, yes, that's true. And she said, Helen Keller said the same thing. I didn't verify this, but that's what she told me. And this is all in the oral law. There's so much wisdom and depth that if we access it, we can, we have a lot of self-help books, which are great, usually, sometimes, but the Torah is a different depth and understanding of wisdom and how to live. So I like to suggest that you make a list of questions and topics that you really want to know about, and go to the oral law and study it and find out what the oral law says, or go to people who are experts in the area, either all the oral law or in areas that you want to know, topics that you really want to know the answers to. Thank you for listening. If you appreciate it, if you want to share it with a friend or a colleague, please pass it on. I'm Boruch Rabinowitz at boruchrabinowitz.com, making a difference for the Jewish people. Thank you.